There he is.
Hey, 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 how's it going?
Good. I'm going to make you a co-host.
All right,
I
let's.
think everyone can actually see us here right away. I'm not sure. I think so. I think we might be live.
Yeah, not too sure. I see hands being raised. But yeah, if
Yeah,
you can make me co-host, then I can share my screen.
that's right. That's right. So let me find you here. I'm not Jen, although that's an awesome name.
Actually, it
Um,
looks like I can share my screen. Can you see it?
yeah, I can.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, guys, welcome to another powerful webinar. My name is Ricky Cunningham, and here with me, our co-host is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Derek Gilson. We're going to have a great time today. We're going to keep it very short and sweet, really just to give you guys some powerful information on exactly who we are, what we do, and ultimately what could be in it for you if you were to find interest in any area that we're going to share here tonight. And so allow me to kind of share my story so that we're not total strangers. My name is Ricky Cunningham, like I mentioned, and my story is real simple, guys. I moved to Canada about 17 years ago. I grew up in Jamaica, and I had a single mom, never had a dad in the picture. Um, and all I've ever seen, in fact, was just watched my mom work day in, day out, just so she could provide for me and my brother. I've never been to college because we never had the money to afford it. And so straight out of high school, I actually started working, just so I could maybe just help out with the bills. And the reality was, no matter what I was doing, it wasn't really doing much. And so I made a decision to pack up and leave home and move to Canada. I came here with literally $500 in my pocket, not a dime more, no college degree, no friends, no family. And, I just made a decision that I was going to do whatever it took so I could help my mom, take care of her and so on and so forth. And I started working two jobs and thinking that that was going to be the way out. But essentially, what really happened was I found myself feeling trapped. Getting up every single day, fighting the hustle, the bustle, 4 a.m., taking the transit, bus, and trains to and from work. And it just wasn't really getting me where I wanted to get to. And so I knew I had to do something different. So I started looking for opportunities. I started looking for opportunities to, do something on the side that could maybe supplement the income that I was making. And the reality is I found my first opportunity, but the income was so volatile that it was not reliable. I couldn't, it wasn't something that I could actually rely upon. And so I had to keep my 9 to 5 as a safety net. And I'm sure some of you guys on here can relate to that. That was my situation. But it wasn't until the birth of my son, when everything really changed. When I saw him for the very first time, I realized I couldn't continue living this way. I had to do something different. Something had to work. And that's when I really started seeking out opportunity in a major way. I really started putting my focus and effort into finding opportunity. And that's when I stumbled upon this opportunity of high ticket. And so you guys are going to have the opportunity and the pleasure of really understanding exactly what it is that we do and how we're able to change so many lives with this great opportunity here. And so, today we live a blessed life. My wife, my family, we get to travel the world multiple times per year. We get to really do a lot of fun things. But I don't want you to think that, I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm literally saying that to impress upon you that if someone like myself, coming from my background, could have the lifestyle we have today, then I guarantee each and every one of you guys on the call has the ability to do the exact same thing or greater. And so you're going to be able to be the sole judge once you see the information. If you see opportunity for yourself, then we'll be able to show you exactly how we can help you achieve your goals as well. So with that, let's get right into the information. So welcome to the movement. This is the best business opportunity, in my opinion, in modern entrepreneurship. Now, what's cool about this is first, let's just talk about some housekeeping rules. So, some housekeeping rules. First thing you need to understand is this is not going to be a copy and paste, get rich quick type of thing. All right. This is not what this is. Anything that is worthwhile is going to take effort. It's going to take some time. It's going to take work. Okay. So, if anyone tells you that you can get in and get rich overnight, they lied to you and you should run. Okay. That's not what this is. This is not a push button type of internet lifestyle fantasy. That's not what you're going to be getting here tonight. This is not a fake it till you make it strategy, right? This is a work it until you make it. That's what this is. Now, this is not a get rich quick business, but what this really is it's better than get rich never. Does that make sense? It's more get rich slower, but it's get rich better than get rich never. So this is not get rich quick, but better than to get rich never. And then you have, so you must have the desire and the passion if you want to really change your life in your current circumstances. Okay. If you can see the vision and you want to change, we will show you exactly how to create a quantum shift in your life. Now, the beauty of this business is that you can change your life and change your circumstances quite quickly. Okay. No promises. Nothing that you're going to see here tonight is not a guarantee. We're going to show you some numbers. These are hypothetical examples. Nothing here that you're going to see is a guarantee of any sort. We're unable to guarantee anything. Okay. But what we can tell you is that we have a system that is already proven to work. And we have thousands and thousands of testimonials of individuals just like yourself who took a look at this for the very first time. And once they took that leap of faith and followed our system, they've been able to completely change their lives forever. And you can have the exact same opportunity. Okay. So now, this is why you're here. You're probably here because you want to travel the world, you want to have lifestyle and time freedom, you want to be able to spend more time with your family and the people you love and care about the most, and ultimately you want to build a legacy type of business. And that's why you're here. And so just to kind of set the agenda of what you can expect is we're going to talk a bit about the problem in which we solve. Every company that you know find a problem in the market and they create a solution. We're going to talk about that solution, how to leverage your personal brand and lifestyle through social media, how to create a high ticket, freedom type of business. We're going to talk more about how that's going to be possible with this opportunity and ultimately create real legacy wealth for you and your family, which is why we're all here. Okay. So let's start off with the problem in which we solve. So the problem in which we solve that's affecting millions of people worldwide, our solution helps 100% of this planet, right? Everyone that's on this planet. So you can rest assured that whatever we're doing, it's actually benefiting everyone in a major, major way. So the problem that we're solving is our drinking water. Now, I know that might sound a little weird. You're thinking drinking water. What was the problem with that? Well, let's just start here. Our body is made up of at least 70 to 75% water. Okay, what's crazy about that is that every single organ in our body relies on water in order to survive. But not all water are created equal. Does that make sense? And so there's a site called the EWG. Okay, it's called ewg.org. Highly recommend that you check that site out because on there, it's a nonprofit organization that literally will tell you what's in your actual specific water. Okay. So what they do is they go around and they actually test different cities, states, and all the supply chains for your drinking water. And then they make their findings public. So you're able to go online and see every single contaminant, every single chemical, and that's in your water, but also they provide solutions as well, which is what we're going to talk about here today. Now, there are no legal limits to more than 160 unregulated contaminants in U.S. tap water. So if you're living in the United States right now, there's a lot of unregulated contaminants in your water lurking as we speak. And don't think for a second that if you're not in the US, you're any better, because this is literally affecting everyone around the world, right? And again, we have the solution to that. All right, so for every glass of tap water that you drink, you're literally getting a heavy dose of industrial or agricultural contaminants. Now, these are like forever chemicals, PFAS. These are a group of man-made chemicals created in the 1940s that basically not, if they're not broken down, you basically have led to widespread contamination within the water supply, so on and so forth. The regulatory system that is meant to ensure the safety of America's drinking water is literally broken, right? Essentially, what's happening is they're very aware of the fact that the water is contaminated, but they do nothing to solve the problem. Many of you are probably familiar with the story of what happened in Flint, Michigan. This is happening all across the nation, right? And so again, we have a duty to really just spread the word and make more and more people aware of what's actually happening. Contaminants that you can find in your water that can lead to cancer, brain nervous system damage, neurological disorders. We're talking about gastrointestinal illnesses, reproductive and fertility problems, dehydration. Again, 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. And again, these are the things that lead to different types of ailments and illnesses and all these different things, right? And of course, in many cases, very, very deadly illnesses. So this was the site we mentioned earlier, ewg.org. Again, all you have to do is visit the site. You can type in your zip code and it'll tell you literally what's in your water. But not to worry. So we don't say all this to scare you. It's just to make you aware that that's what's happening. But again, we do have the solution for cleaner, healthier drinking water. Bottled water is not the answer. Now, more and more people are becoming aware that the water, the tap water in and of itself is very contaminated. And so more and more people are leaning more towards bottled water, thinking that bottled water is going to be the healthier alternative. But the truth is, bottled water can, in most cases, be more acidic than even your tap water. And one study actually found over 25,000 chemicals in bottled water. 25,000 chemicals, not to mention the amount of chemicals leaching out of the plastic material itself into the water in which you drink, right? So understand that bottled water was not created with your health in mind. It was created for the bottom line. It created a $655 billion industry. And again, it was not created with your health in mind. And so more and more people are becoming aware of this. So they try out different things like reverse osmosis, but unfortunately, dangerous chemicals like pesticides, herbicides, chlorine, are molecularly smaller than water and can pass freely through the filter and the filtration system that some people might have on the market. And so, reverse osmosis is definitely not a healthier alternative. So what is the solution? If it's not bottled water, and if it's not reverse osmosis, then what is the solution? Well, the solution here is Enagic's Kangen Water Ionizer. This is the world's most powerful antioxidant on the market. You can't eat enough fruits or veggies in one day to get some of the same amount of antioxidants as one glass of this Kangen water. So again, that's powerful. One glass is way more than the amount of antioxidants that you can get from your fruits and veggies. This basically produces molecular hydrogen, H2, which is very, very key to the rejuvenation of your organs and your cells, right? Molecular hydrogen is a special kind of molecule that helps protect and repair your body's cell by fighting off the harmful effects of free radicals. It's like having a superhero team in your body, keeping everything running smoothly and healthy, right? So that's essentially what's happening when you drink this glass of water. Now, this machine has 8 platinum dipped solid titanium plates. It sits on 560 square inches of ionization surface, self-cleaning after each use, very intuitive, has a touch panel that you can literally select any of the pH levels that you like, because they all have different uses and different benefits. Speaks 8 different languages, which is 7 more than myself. I'm not sure about Derek, but I speak only 1. This machine is portable, so you can literally take it wherever you are. One cool thing about this is that it's a certified medical device. What that means is if you've ever traveled through TSA at the airport and you try to take any liquid through security, they're going to tell you to dump it out or throw it away, right? Well, not with this. You can literally take this water through security because it is a medical grade water, right? And so they literally will just test your water. They'll see that it's medically grade and you'll be on your way. They will not ask you to throw it out or dump it or anything like that. So it's a very, very cool thing. So as it says here, you change your water, you can literally change your life. Now, in Japanese, the word kangen simply means return to origin. Now, this is some of the benefits that the water actually provides. It provides 5 different types of highly bioavailable water, endorsed by thousands of doctors and used in hospitals around the world, literally thousands of hospitals around the world. And it is the only OEM water ionizer in the market right now, meaning the company, the founders own everything and everything is done in-house. Nothing is outsourced to any other company. It's all done in-house in Japan. Now, to be certified as medical grade in Japan, most of you guys are probably not aware of this, but this will give you some confidence in knowing what it is that we have to offer. In Japan, it takes 7 years for it to actually be certified medical grade. More than any other country or any other location in the world, Japan is the hardest location to be certified medical grade because they go through vigorous testings. And unlike many other areas like North America and other areas, where you can test on just lab rats and that's enough. Not in Japan. You have to go through a series and process and phases. So testing on rats, yes, but you also need to test on humans eventually. So it takes 7 years of testing before you can even be certified as a medical device in Japan. So the fact that this is a Japanese product, Japanese made, and it is a certified medical device, that should give you some confidence as well. Now, also, it neutralizes acids and toxins caused by stress, right? Poor diet and environmental factors. It also helps with weight loss. Very, 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 very cool. Cleanses the colon, boosts the immune system, improves cancer resistance. This is according to Dr. Otto. Does not remove any minerals that are lost in the purification process. So you still are getting all the minerals that comes organically within the water. Medical grade, like we talked about, produces FDA approved medical grade sterile 2.5 electrolyzed hypochlorous acid for toxic free cleaning. What that means is basically there's a setting on the machine which is a 2.5 strong acidic setting. And with this water, it actually kills viruses and bacteria on contact. So this is going to be your healthier alternative. If you're trying to live a chemical-free lifestyle, if you want to have a chemical-free home, then this is going to be your healthier alternative because it's just water, but it kills viruses and bacteria on contact, which is super cool. Now, ask yourself this question. Is the way you're currently creating an income going to pay for you for the rest of your life, whether you work or not? However you're making income right now, is that going to pay you for the rest of your life, regardless of whether you're working or not? That's the first question. Or will the money stop coming in once you stop working? Very important question to ask, because at some point, none of us is going to work till, for the rest of our lives. At some point, we're going to have to stop working. And so is what you're doing right now going to allow you to have that opportunity? Okay. If not, take a look at this. This reminds me of my nightmare. I remember getting out of high school and started working, earning money. And as I would earn the money, the first thing I had to do was pay the bills. And after paying the bills, I would take a look and see people on Instagram posting pictures and videos of lavish vacations and all this stuff. And I would start having that instant gratification, where I felt I needed to take a vacation as well. But when I checked the bank account, guess what? There was no money. And so I did like most people would do. We start using the credit cards. The credit cards fund the lifestyle. The credit cards pay the bills. The credit cards pay for vacation. And so when I would come back from vacation and go to work, I would no longer be working to build a lifestyle. Now I'm going back to work to pay for debt. And that begins a vicious cycle, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we call the rat race. I like to refer to it as the matrix. You see, this was a system designed to keep us where we're at. That's the key. But what if I told you that the secret to getting out of this rat race was literally hiding in plain sight? It's right here. It's called debt, not bad debt. It's called debt. That's the secret to getting out of the rat race. And you might be wondering, well, Ricky, why would you say that? Why would you say debt's the secret to getting out? Well, if you take a look at it, I remember my mentor saying to me, if you want answers, just ask more questions. And then he said, success leaves clues. Just follow the clues. So let's pay attention to those that are successful. Let's just pick on the banks for a second. We all know the banks to be massive, massive, successful institutions, right? You ever ask yourself, how did they become that way? What product does a bank sell? They don't sell a product. So how do they become so massively successful? Well, the answer is debt. That's how they become so successful. You see, the banks used debt, OPM. They're the ultimate users of other people's money. Let me explain. When you give your money to the bank, you basically loaned your money to the bank at zero interest. They borrowed your money with the promise to give it back. And they said, the longer you allow us to keep it, the more interest we'll give you. That is called debt repayment, ladies and gentlemen. So they borrowed your money, my money, everybody's money pooled together, and then they take it and they reinvest it. They don't just lock it in the vault waiting for you to come and get it. That's not what happens. And if you think that the money is sitting in the back in the chamber, That's only in the movies. That's not what happened in real life. Okay, that money is not sitting in the bank. And if that was the case, why would banks need insurance? Right? Why would banks go bankrupt if all that money was sitting in the bank? The reason they need insurance and the reason why they go bankrupt is because the money is not there. The money is reinvested, it's lent out. So they invest in real estate and properties and businesses, and then they take the remainder and they lend it out in the form of student loans, car loans, lines of credit, mortgages, credit cards. They make massive interest rates on those, and then they give you back 1% if you're lucky. Not too good of a deal, huh? But that's debt. They borrowed, they reinvest, take the profits, paid back their loans, and then they keep the profits and they just keep doing it over and over and over again. Who else does this? Business owners, wealthy people. That's what they do. They don't use their life savings and start up a business. Most people, what they do is they go out and raise funds, meaning they get investors, or they go to a bank and they take out a business loan. That's what they do. And then they take that money, they invest it into a business, and the revenue generated from the business is they use it to repay the loan. Now they're debt free, they have good credit, but now they have an asset that has the ability to generate a revenue. That's how wealthy people becomes wealthy, and that's how they continue to stay wealthy. So the secret was right here. But because we've been taught all our lives to stay out of debt, we've been taught all our lives to stay away from debt, cut up the credit cards or keep them for an emergency, we didn't realize that we were playing into a trap. They taught us to do the opposite of what they're doing. And so we end up using our credit for consuming things like a vehicle, like a home. All these things are just consumer habits. And so we're going to hopefully be able to show you how you can change those habits. Because once you understand and you realize and you start to see a paradigm shift, that's when you'll start to really make a change in your life and your family's life. Hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. But if not, you'll have an opportunity at the end to ask some questions. Now, this right here, I believe, is extremely powerful because in order for you to understand the next set of information that my business partner Derek is going to go through, in order for you to really grasp and understand the gravity of what he's about to share, this is crucial that you understand. Now, some of you guys are going to get this, some of you guys are not, but I promise you, for those that actually understand this, this will change your life. Now, here's what I would explain, what I would say to you is that I'm about to share some things to you that might actually be counterintuitive to what you know to be true. I'm probably going to say some things to you that you probably won't feel comfortable with. But I ask that you remain patient and I ask that you keep an open mind because the most expensive thing you could ever own is a closed mind. So here we go. All of us on the call here today is in one of these four quadrants. Every single one of us on the call is in one of these four quadrants. This is called the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. Now, every one of us, most of us start off right here as an employee. And again, when I think back to what my mentor taught me, when he said, Ricky, success leaves clues. And if you want more answers, ask more questions. As I grew in business, I started to ask more questions. And the first question I ask is this: why is it the vast majority of us are being taught, go to school, get good grades, come out and get a good job, work till we're 65 and retire? That's the plan most of us were sold. Go to school, get good grades, come out and get a good job, and then retire at 65. And so the first question I have here is, why are the vast majority of us being taught, go to school, get good grades, come out and get a good job? It would have been just as easy for them to teach us, go to school, get good grades, come out and be your own boss, start a business, be an entrepreneur. So why are we being taught to be good employees? That's the first question. And then I realized after researching and asking more questions, I realized that the creators of the education system as we know it, the Rockefellers, was quoted, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So what does that tell you? If the creators of the education system want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers, then that means the education system was designed to create great employees, not great business owners. And now when you think of it logically, it makes sense. Why would the wealthy want all of us to be wealthy? What benefit would there be for them to teach you and I how to get wealthy? There is no benefit for them. Does that make sense? But there is major benefits if you and I are great workers? That's gonna make sense to you in a second. The second question I ask here is this: why 65? Who in the world came up with the number 65? You ever thought about that? Like, why not 50? Why not 45? Why not 35? Like, who came up with the number 65? What's the significance? The only significance is the longer you work, the more they benefit. And well, we won't go too deep, but you get the picture. I'm pretty sure you understand. So the truth is, this is an arbitrary number, 65. It has no significance besides the longer you work, more benefit for them. And so once you understand that, and again, this is not a conspiracy theory or anything like that. This is just for you to be aware. Because once you start to get that, then it starts to make sense. And now you can play the game to win because we're all a part of this game. We're just on the wrong side. Once you become aware, now you can start playing the game to win for you and your family. Now, what happens as an employee is that you're trading your time for dollars, which simply means that your income potential is limited. Does that make sense? Because we only get 24 hours in a day and none of us work 24 hours per day. So if you're trading time for money, your income potential is capped. Essentially, what happens is that your paycheck is not designed to outperform with or keep up with inflation. And so whenever you get into that situation, you start to find yourself having way more month left at the end of your money. And so once people start to feel that pressure and that stress of not being able to pay the bills, having to choose between gas and groceries, that's when they start to say, well, I got to do something different because this is just not working out. And so essentially, that's when they transition into becoming a self-employed individual. Now, the challenge with being self-employed is that you're still trading your time for money, which means your income potential, once again, is still limited. But the other challenge with being self-employed is that even though you have the ability to earn a little bit more than the employee, the problem is you now have no time. And what's the point of earning all this money if you have no time to spend with the people you love and care about the most? This is when I realized the most valuable thing we own is not our money, it's not our homes, it's not our cars, it's our time. And so it's very important that you factor in time whenever you're evaluating any business opportunity. So ultimately, where you want to be is on this side of the equation. You want to be on the B and the I side. You see, business takes advantage of leverage. They leverage other people's efforts and they leverage systems, systems that work with or without you. But I had another question here. My question was, what's the real difference between the business owner and the employee? And then I realized that there really wasn't any difference. The truth is, they're both human beings. They bleed the same blood, they breathe the same air. So, what was the difference? The only difference was the business owner understood something that the employee did not. And this is what it was. The business owner understands that they too only have 24 hours in a day, just like the employee. But they don't want to spend their 24 hours doing the work. They would much rather spend their 24 hours on the golf course, playing tennis, traveling the world, doing great things, meaningful things, dig wells, in countries that needs it, build schools. That's what they want to do with their time. But they understand that in order for them to live that lifestyle, somebody's got to do the work. And that's where you come in. You see, the business owners come up with a great idea. He says, look, why don't I pay you just enough so you don't quit? And in return, you promise to work just hard enough so that I don't let you go. How does that sound? And you sign the dotted line, welcome to your job. That's how it works. Now I know it sounds crazy, but that's the truth, right? And so now they leverage your time, you do the work, they make the money, they get to spend their 24 hours doing whatever they want to do with it. But here's the beauty. Here's the good news. The good news is you can do that too. You can do that too. And so you're going to be able to see an opportunity where you could be your own boss. You could be the business owner. And then ultimately, here's where you want to be. You want to be an investor. This is where you have money working for you. Money is the greatest employee of all time. Does not sleep, does not call in sick, does not complain. It just works. And that's where you want to be. I believe it was Warren Buffett that said it best. It says, if you don't find a way to earn while you sleep, you will work until you die. And that was a fact. So we're going to show you exactly how you can be on this side of the quadrant where you can be a business owner and generate enough revenue to invest. And now you can start to level up in your life. Okay. All right. So what is True Freedom business model? Now, basically, Time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, health freedom. That's where we all want to be. That is the dream. All right. And so the business model for high tickets, right now we're going to compare high ticket commissions versus low ticket commissions. All right. So you guys can kind of see the difference between most business models and our business model. Okay. Now, for most business model, what happened is people tend to fall into the trap of low ticket. And the reason why that is because we've been conditioned all our lives to think as consumers. And consumers ask very different questions from investors. Consumers tend to focus on cost. Investors are not concerned as much with cost as they are with return of investment. They're more concerned with the return on investment and the time frame in which they can expect this return. Does that make sense? So if we were to take a look at what a low ticket business model looked like and why most people typically fail is because of this. Imagine if you were looking at a business model where the cost was $150. Okay. If that company was paying out 20% in commissions, that means you're earning about $30 in commission from that sale. And no one gets excited about a $30 commission. But let's put some time to this, right? Because most consumers, they're making decisions based on costs. They never factor in the time. So let's put some time to this and see what happens. If you wanted to earn $1,000 per month commission, you're going to have to sell 35 low ticket products. If you wanted to earn $10,000 a month in commissions, you're going to have to sell 167 products each month for $5,000 in commission. And if your goal is to earn $10,000 a month in commission, you're going to have to sell 334 products each month. And I think 10,000 a month should be your starting point. Okay. If you're not currently earning 10,000 per month, then you definitely want to pay attention to what we're going to share with you next. Okay. But if you wanted to earn 10,000 a month in commissions in a low ticket business, you're going to have to sell 334 products each month. Now, assuming that you're really good, and you have a 50% closing ratio, that means for every two people you talk to, one's going to do business with you. That means you'll have to talk to 668 brand new people every single month. Are you talking to that many people each month? No one's doing that, right? And that's the number one reason why most people don't do as well in low ticket business models. In our business, we don't do anything with low ticket. We only offer high ticket commissions. Okay. And so the difference here is with just one product, you're earning at least 2,700. That's what pays out each time one of these products are sold. And if you sold a trifecta, the company's paying out $5,000. If you sold a quad, the company's paying out between $6,400 and $7,700. One sale, guys. So literally, how many sales would you need to do in a month in order to have a phenomenal lifestyle, right? So what I want to do right now is I want to introduce our next guest speaker. This individual I have a tremendous level of respect for. Not only has he had tremendous success right now in this company, but he's always been having success in multiple businesses prior. You know, he's a family man, has a phenomenal, beautiful family. Just absolutely love his family, and I could just see his passion when he deals with his team. When he actually deals with his team, he cares so much for their success. He pours a lot of time and energy into helping develop them. And I just really, truly admire that. And it's an honor for me to call him a business partner, but also it's an honor to call him a friend. And so please help me welcome to this next segment of the training, my friend and business partner, Mr. Derek Gilson.
Well, Ricky, that was a fabulous first half there. You did just an amazing job, as you always do. I was waiting for you to tell everyone that you are actually a coach when it comes to helping performers sing. So for those who don't know this, Ricky is actually responsible for coaching and developing Usher. So for those who know Usher, he just performed at the Super Bowl. And so maybe at the very end, we might get Ricky to sing a little bit. Okay, well we'll see, we'll see. Told you.
Oh man.
So look, we're having a lot of fun here for sure. And Ricky, I could share my screen if you'd like, and I can definitely take it off from here. But yeah, look, we totally understand how this business model works. You know, for sure. One thing that really stood out to me, what Ricky said there was, age has nothing to do with retirement. It really has everything to do with the amount of wealth that one has accumulated. And what's amazing is just to be able to see some of the leaders here that have already been able to get these amazing results, this amazing lifestyle that they have, because they really understood the information that they were getting. And it was just a little over a year ago that I jumped on with a gentleman by the name of Brandon, and he really opened up what we're seeing here so far, and really understanding how the compensation plan works and the timing of all this is really really incredible. So I invite you to see the second half here. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to jump into this. But yeah, for those who don't know, um, I actually grew up with parents that are deaf, and I didn't know much about business. I didn't have people around me that were successful. I was a high school dropout, labeled as a loser, you know, druggy, just not really going anywhere in life. And you know what? I just wasn't too sure what I was going to do. And I'm just so grateful that I got introduced to this industry. Yes, we got introduced to low ticket. We had success there, but really we wanted a business that could really set us free. And I'm going to share our high ticket commissions. I'm going to share our legacy income that we have here, which has really attracted me and my wife to this. Especially with having three young children, we just know we're going to put our time into this. And after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, getting this legacy income was really, really important for us. So if you want to have like shares in a company that is growing and expanding, you're looking at a company that's already doing well over $1 billion in sales. I do have a background as a insurance broker. I like helping families just get at least protected, and I understand the value of having a business model like that. So we're going to share the difference here with high ticket, and just understand that you can be a broker over here. There's like no licensing requirement. Um, there's no restrictions in your territory. And this is a real business that you have access to around the globe, which is just incredible. Okay. So in this example, you can be a broker, and it's just like real estate, right? In real estate, you go out there, you can, sell a home, and you're going to make a big commission. The same idea applies over here. What's great is we have the training, we have the support, we have the systems in place where you can develop other people, and the system can develop other people. And that's why we're attracting high caliber people like Ricky, like myself, and other people that are part of this amazing community here that we have. Okay. So here's what we're going to cover. All right. Why you're going to love it so much is it takes the same amount of time in high ticket as it does in low ticket when you make sales, right? And I know that term sales, for some people, it's like, well, like I'm not in sales. Everybody is in sales. Okay. It's really just a transfer of belief. Okay. Stick with me, right? It takes less transactions per month to make $10,000 a month with high ticket commissions. In fact, we show people how, with just 2 sales a month, how that's possible, right? This is a product that 100% of people on this planet need, ladies and gentlemen. Like, right? Like, I at first I thought it was funny, but it's actually very serious. Like, who do you know that drinks water, and who do you know that wants to have healthy, good, clean water, right? And you can get started for zero money out of pocket. And Ricky did a great job of talking about debt. There's such a term as good debt and bad debt. So if I were to ask you, is debt bad? Most people would say, well, yes, debt is bad. But wealthy people, they understand how to use debt. They understand how to leverage that to start businesses. That's what the wealthy people do. And we show people how to do that here in our community. Okay. So, all right. So, why we love Anagic, and what makes sense for us so much is the list that you see here. First off, it's a patented 8-point compensation plan, done for you systems and mentorship. That's really big here. We coach, we develop. There's no sign up fees. There's a biweekly paycheck. We're not out there trying to slide into people's DMs and try and sell people. We do communicate with people in social media. There's no like having to stock up on products and have to worry about like a monthly qualification at the end of the month. You're not having to call like Aunt Sally or your grandma Betty and saying, "Look, I need to qualify for my promotion this month." It That doesn't work here. We don't play that game, okay? There's no monthly qualification, there's no deranking, right? Like I just came back not too long ago from Cancun with my family, and I didn't have to worry about the beginning of the month or the end of the month. We just live life. um, you know we do what's called cumulative group sales. There's no mandatory auto ship, there's like no renewal fee, and you do earn passive income when you understand how to build this properly, and our training is truly incredible. All right, so these are Ricky talked about our flagship product, which is our K8. Now, my wife is really big on the Anespa. When we first got the Anespa, my wife was actually 4 months pregnant. And by the way, she was making sales every single month. She absolutely loves the K8. In fact, she wanted the K8 before I even dived into this. She's like, you did you get the K8? I'm like, yes, we actually got two. And one of the reasons for that is because I wanted a machine that I could actually just lend out to people that I know and allow that to actually work for me. So, and we can talk a little bit more about that as we go along. Now, the Anespa is your in-home spa experience, shower attachment. What it does is it remineralizes the water through an active charcoal and ceramic filter, while removing the chlorine and the bacteria to protect your family skin, right? Like my kids, they know to bathe, in this good water, right? Now you have the Ukon, right? So it's the chemical-free wild turmeric, which has powerful antioxidant, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. That's available in three different ways, right? So it's in the tea, the soap, or the capsule supplement. I prefer the capsule supplement. I think it fuses really well with the water, and that's what we do. Okay, so we're going to go into the compensation plan, and you're going to see why it's so generous. In fact, the compensation plan pays out 55% plus. So it's a very generous compensation plan. I'm going to show you how really you can be earning at least four figures per sale, as we go through this part of this compensation plan. Okay, when you start your business. Okay, and remember, you are in business. You're in business to make a profit. You want to be part of a compensation plan that's going to be generous, for the time that you put into it. And that's why we're building a wealthy community over here. So we're going to go into two different types of our compensation plan. The first one is the trifecta compensation plan. The other one is the quad compensation plan. Either one is fine. I prefer the quad. That's how I got started, but it really depends on what you can qualify for. Okay. Well, we're going to dive into that. So the difference between these two is the quad is the three core products plus an extra one. And what I love about Anagic is they allow you to own multiple distributor IDs. In fact, they allow you to own up to six per person. So as we're building this business, we actually look at the business like a franchise. And I actually get a lot of advice from my uncle, who at one point owned seven Tim Hortons. And as we compared apples to apples, oranges to oranges, yes, his is a brick and mortar business, but this is also a business that's scalable online, where we have access now to what is it, almost 6 billion people on the planet or more that are they have access to a phone, they have access to a computer, and we are scalable around many countries around the world. So that's what really excites me for sure. Okay. We might open it up for just a few questions at the end. We'll see how we do for time. Remember, I did say that Ricky might he might sing at the end. We'll see how we do here. All right, let's get serious. So the trifecta breakdown. Let's discuss this now. What I like about this is we have really like showing people a hack of how to make the fast money, how to move up the compensation plan a lot faster. And that's why people like literally from like other teams are wondering like how do we do this? Our training, our support. Here we are on a Friday evening and our leaders are on this call, right? So here is just an example where when you start with the trifecta, you're actually getting started at what we call the 2A. And so what that means is you're going to get 2 points out of the 8 points. So every time K8 is sold, 8 points is going to be paid out, which is going to be $2,700. And so here you can see that the 2 points on a trifecta sale is going to earn you $1,250. So you don't have to do 100 personal sales to move all the way up to that 6A position. You are going to work with a few people. We're going to show you how to do that. And you'll make yourself a couple sales. You work with your team, you make a few sales, and you move up the compensation plan just like you would with a brokerage, right? So I like this at the very end here. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, right? There's something that I learned was that you're either trained or you're untrained. You're not good, you're not bad. You're either trained or you're untrained, and you just got to put some time into this, right? Now, you'll see on the bottom left corner there that we get paid 8 levels deep, okay? So depending on when someone is getting started within the organization, you'll be rewarded for that. And again, you work with your leadership, but it's a very generous compensation plan. And again, it's patented, okay? So that's the breakdown of the trifecta. As you make more sales, you move up to 3A. You're going to get 3 points, which is 1875. You make 20 over 20 sales, you're going to get 4 points, right? So as you make more sales, you're going to move all the way up to that 6A, where now you're making 37.50 per sale. Let's break this down a little bit, okay? So I get started. I'm showing Sally this business. Maybe she's a single mom. She's got 2 kids, and she's like, Derek, I see this. I want to get started. We show her how. She comes in with a trifecta. Great, fantastic. So what's going to happen is, and Ricky's kind of covering up the top of my screen here. Let me just close this here. But I'm going to generate 1250 for helping Sally get started. Sally sees this. This makes sense for her. She wants to just go all the way. She's got the time to do it. So, we're leveraging, right? So Sally goes out there and she actually goes out there and makes 6 sales. Now, what's going to happen is because those sales have been generated, that's going to bring in on the left side there indirect sales. That's going to be 7,500. Now, when you combine the indirect sales and the direct sale, right? Because that indirect sales is what we call passive income, right? Sales that were not generated by you, but based on your team, your network that you've built. So that's going to bring in 8750, right? Very transparent numbers, right? Now, let's go and discuss this a little bit more. Let's break this down just a little bit more, right? Because when you get started with the trifecta, you're going to make first off, we show you how you can get started for zero out of pocket, right? And you're going to get cash back of $440. Your first sale, you're going to make 1,250. Now, 2 trifecta sales in a month, okay? That's going to bring you $2,500 for bringing in 2 sales. Now, what if you brought in 1 trifecta sale in a week, which is 4 in a month? That's going to bring you $5,000 in a month. That's $60,000 in a year. That's why we have so many people in our community that are making an easy $5,000, $10,000 a month, because it's literally just a couple sales, 1 or 2 sales, right? It's 1 sale as you're moving up, okay? Now, if you're collecting all 8 points on this compensation structure, you're making $5,000 per trifecta sale. So how many sales do you need to make in a month to make $10,000? It's 2 sales, right? So 1 sale per week is going to work out to being $20,000 a month. That's $250,000 a year, right? If you did 4 in a week, that would be over $100,000 a month. We have new people within our community that Ricky and I just spent a weekend with in Vancouver, okay? That all have already made 6 figures in a month. And a lot of that was also based on passive income, ladies and gentlemen, right? This isn't like something that's just happening years and years later. People people are getting some people are getting these types of results even in their first year. Results are not always typical, but understand it's a very lucrative compensation plan. It's high ticket sales, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's go into the quad breakdown. That's how I got started. Again, it really depends on what you can qualify for. We discussed that on like a strategy call. So what this does is that actually moves you straight up to that 3A position. So you're immediately going to start earning 24.30 to as much as 28.95. It just depends on which products you're getting or which products they're getting. That's why there's a little bit of a difference in there. Okay. Now, based on those sales, right? After that, after about 20 sales, you're going to move up to that 4A, but you bypass that 2A commission structure. So it's like a hack. It's totally legal. And again, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And you're either trained or you're not trained. Okay. Now, here's the difference, right? You saw the difference there in the trifecta example. If you were just focusing on the quad example, this is the difference in commission. Okay. So if Sally were to do those six sales, your indirect sales 28.95. Now the indirect sales is going to be 17,370 combined. That's $20,000 in commission. Okay, we literally have people here who are they're realtors, they're insurance brokers like myself, who are making more income doing this than they are with their other career that they're doing. Some of them have actually left their other career to do this because of how lucrative this is, and because of what's happened with the pandemic. People are now used to coming online. Like it's just growing, right? Like we know things are growing. People want this product. Google Trends, there's just a lot of data, right? So like we know where this is going because of the history. All right. So this is the fast track, the quad strategy, right? So same thing as the trifecta. We show you how to get started for zero out of pocket. Now the cash back is going to be higher, so anywhere between 725 to 880. So if you're thinking about starting a business and you're willing to invest $300, $400, $500 a month, what I like about this strategy is it actually allows you to get started for zero out of pocket. We show you how this can cover your first like 2 or 3 months of payments, and it's literally no money out of pocket. And we show you how to make sales. We literally have new people that are making sales in their first week, in their first month. And if you don't plan on making sales, then yeah, you definitely don't want to move forward. But we show you how to do this. Like that's one of the best things is that people like Ricky and myself and other leaders, we actually show people how we can actually help people close their first 5, 10, 20 sales. Okay. Now, your first sale over here with the quad, you're going to make 1875 to as much as 28.95. Just depends on the products that are being sold. 2 quad sales a month is going to be ranging, around the $5,000 mark, right? To $6,000 mark. Now, if you did 1 quad sale a week, that's 4 in a month. That would be about anywhere between 97 to 11.5. Now, if you did that throughout the year, that would be 116 to 138,000 a year. Now, if you got all 8 points, you've built the business, you're at that 6A and above position, you're now making 64.80 to as much as 77.20 per quad sale. 1 quad sale a week would equal about $25,000 to $30,000 per month. 4 sales in a week would equal about 100,000 to as much as 400,000. There might be a little bit, yeah, 6 figures. Okay, so the compensation plan is very, very generous. Now, I'm not going to totally nerd out on this too much. Again, you can get together with the person that invited you and also with one of our coaches. But just keep in mind that on the far left, this is the trifecta compensation plan. And then on the right is going to be the quad, ones with two Anespas. The other one is with the K8. The K8 is the flagship product. That's actually how I got started. Now the trifecta, you're getting started at 2A, so you're making that 1250 per sale. Over here on the quad, you're making that 2430, or you're making that 2895 per quad sale. And as you make more sales, you're just going to make more money, move up the compensation structure. Okay. Now let's recap. Let's kind of just break down the numbers here a little bit, so it's really, really simple to understand the big money. And I'm about to touch on the legacy income, which is my favorite part of this, because I truly believe in building in a company where you put the time into it. And if you decide to build this on the weekend, or what I call the strong end, because you can really make up for time, right? And over a period of time, you can qualify for legacy income. And that's like getting shares in the company, which is incredible. So, and we'll discuss that. So to make $100,000 a year with this strategy, with the quad, and you're collecting the 8 points, that's 13 sales a year, right? Ricky and I, we've done 3, 4, 5 sales in a month, okay? To earn $250,000 in a year, that's going to be 32 sales per year. Make $500,000, that's 64 sales per year. To make $1 million on your own pen, that's going to be 129 sales per year. Now, what we do is we show you strategies on how to build a team so that you can leverage. One example was we were in the business 5 months in. My wife, I think I shared that my wife was pregnant when we started, gave birth, and we took a little bit of time off. And in that month, we made a 5-figure passive income because we had a team that understood how to build this business that became independent of us and relied on the system. And we generated a 5-figure income that month, which was incredible. All right. Now, here we are. We're now at that legacy income. So for those who are, the go-getters, for those who want to build towards that legacy income, pay attention, because this is it. Now, we're going to start off here at that 6A position. When you reach 6A, as long as you and your team do 100 sales at any time, so this is not monthly, but at any time you reach 6A, the company will reward you with a $3,000 bonus. All these numbers, by the way, they're all US. For my Canadian friends and family that are watching this right now, all these numbers that Ricky and I have been talking about, these are all US numbers, okay? So you get a $3,000 bonus as long as there's 100 sales. Now, what we've done is we own more than one distributor ID. Again, that's what the trifecta allows you to do for the quad. So when you hit 6A2, like my wife and I have done, my wife is about to hit 6A. I do have a 6A position and another 6A position. What will happen is it will trigger her a $3,000 bonus for hitting 6A. And my top position is going to get rewarded that $6,000 bonus. So that's going to be a $9,000 one-time bonus just for arriving here. No monthly quota whatsoever. Now, there's other bonuses. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. When you get to that 6A2-2 position, it's the same thing, right? As long as you control these other two positions and you have your organization that you're working with, and basically what happens is these two 6A positions each have a 6A. So that's going to be 200 sales on each side. That's going to trigger that $12,000 bonus. But imagine you're also making that $6,000 bonus on both of these sides. Now, what I like about this is just recently, I mentioned the gentleman, Brandon, who jumped on with me, did a similar presentation like this. He had a background as an attraction marketing expert. He really shared the vision with people like myself and Ricky about like how we can really scale this business and really condense time frames. And when I met with Brandon, he literally was just really starting to get going with this. He was at that 6A2 position, and within a matter of a year, he hit that 6A2-3 position. He got a $25,000 bonus. He got of course, $12,000 bonus in these other positions, plus other bonuses because it's based on how we built this. But again, this is not to impress you. This is to impress upon you that when you get to that position of 6A2-3, the company is going to give you a minimum of approximately $5,000 a month. Now, for those who are 6A2-3 in the company, it's been approximately about $8,000 a month. So what I like about them is they tend to always do what we call under promise and over deliver on what they say. Okay. So as we continue to build this, this is really our goal and the goal that we have as we work with our organization. You get to that 6A2-4, it just doubles from there. And as you can see, there's just more higher and higher income as you continue to build. And you should be rewarded for that. You're working with your team. You're putting time into the systems. You're changing people's lives, right? We are the marketing arm of the company, and so we get rewarded for that. Okay. We could spend a lot more time on this, but there's actually still more. You thought that was it? There's more. There's development bonuses, there's leadership bonuses, and also education bonuses, that profit sharing. Okay. International bonus pool, monthly 10K contest. There's group sales incentive bonuses, monthly and quarterly. That position that I shared with you, by the way, we have people in the company that are at 6A2-2 and even 6A2 quarterly that are making tens of thousands and even six-figure bonuses alone based on everything that you've seen so far, right? So this is what has really changed for us, really understanding the difference from like a low ticket business to a high ticket business. It's just different, okay? All right. So instant benefits for starting your high ticket business, okay? You make anywhere between 440 to as much as 880. It's a tax write-off, right? It's smart business, right? If you have a car, a home, right? All that becomes a tax deduction in your business. There's no sign-up fees. You can have multiple distributor IDs, and you make as much as 1250. This is on average to as high as 2895 on your first sale. That number is going to be higher for my Canadian people. Okay. Now you get to start your business with zero down, no money out of your pocket. And we have a lot of people in our community that start making a sale in their first couple weeks, in their first month, because of our proven strategies that we have. When we invite people to come in and take a look at our community, we literally have training after training. We have systems, we have support. We just got off an amazing team call that we do on Thursday evening. It's recorded, by the way, by the best of the best. And everyone is just raving at the level of training that we have in our community. What do you actually, how do you actually make sales, right? So we show people like one piece of content a day, but how do you do that? We train you, we share, invite people to team master classes like this, recorded ones. And what we do is we book calls and we help people get their answers to their questions, and we map out your goals, right? That's really what we do. We help you get started. We show people also how to launch their high ticket business. So in order to get your time and your money back, right, you must be willing to invest both your time and also your money to be able to do so, right? This is why I always tell people, right? Like a lot of us are conditioned to have weekends. Maybe it's time to have some strong ends, right? And just if you can go to work for someone else for 8 hours a day, isn't it worth putting 1 hour a day into yourself, into your future, for your family, right? That's what we have here, right? If you don't do that, then nothing changes. And kind of like Ricky says, you go back to the matrix and you stay there, right? But once the mind expands, it can never go back. Now, I believe that's it. This might be the last slide. Join the movement, change your life, right? So if this resonates with you and you're ready to take the next step for that time freedom, financial freedom, or what I like the most is the location freedom, get back with whoever invited you to this masterclass, schedule your call. They'll go over with you how to get started for zero down, and how you can earn that cash back, which is huge for a lot of people. We'll also map out your goal and how you can get to your freedom number, right? And we'll show you how to make this achievable, and do this in the next few weeks and months. So with that, Ricky, I know you're still on the call. Let me see if I can see you. And I'm going to ask you, Ricky, are we going to open it up for a couple Q&As? Are we good right now? Now, I know the chat's not available right now, but I'd almost say to the group, listen, you guys want to hear Ricky sing? Is tonight the night?
It's not tonight.
I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
But yeah, we could definitely take a couple questions for sure.
Okay, now, because my name is not Jen, everyone, this is actually not my. I wonder if I could change my name. I think I can. There you go. I actually not sure how to disable the chat. So I know there's a few questions in here. Yeah, people are asking if they can disable the chat here, and we've got like 42 people in here, so this is great.
Hmm.
Now I'm just looking in here in the participants or the chat to see how I can disable this. Give me a moment, everyone. Maybe I can find that out. Let's see. Okay. I'm not sure.
But they
So
could unmute themselves possibly and then just ask a question.
yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can just unmute everyone. Let's see here. So in the actual chat, I can see you guys, if you want to put your question in the chat for now, because I do see that you're saying chat disabled from Melissa. Robin said, "Are you opening the chat tonight?" The chat was disabled. But I am looking to see how we can allow everyone to just chime in. Okay, let's see here.
So if you could raise your hands and we'll just allow you to speak. So I believe Rhonda, you're supposed to be unmuted. So go ahead and ask your question. Rhonda Bauchio.
Yeah, I'm going to go to her and just allow her to speak. So, Rhonda,
Yeah, I just
okay, ask to unmute. There we go. Ask to unmute. Are you the host? Maybe that's why, Ricky?
um
Or am I showing up as the host?
I think we're both showing as co-host.
Okay. Promote to
Rhonda, are you
speaker.
able to unmute yourself? Okay. Maybe we can move on to. So it looks like the Q&A is working. So we could just go ahead and type your question in Q&A. So Liz, do you have a question? Oh, I don't see any new questions popping up. So Veronica, you had your hand up. Veronica Alonso. So you are now permitted to speak. So just unmute yourself and ask a question.
Now, what if I have them promote to panelist?
We could try that.
Sure. Okay, are you ready? Well, I guess we'll find out. So, Veronica, you can. Okay, go ahead. You just have to unmute your microphone. Ask to unmute Veronica and Rhonda. Your hands are up.
Hmm. In the meantime, I see Liz have a question. She said, for the zero down payments, how do we do that? So that's a good question, Liz. So for zero down payments, it's really just what's that is a financing option, right? So depending on where you're located, if you're located in Canada or the US, we'll provide you with the different financing companies that we work with that would most likely be able to approve you. Obviously, they'll look at your personal situation and then they will determine whether you can be approved or not. And if they do, they will fund the entire thing. You pay nothing out of pocket, and then you just make your monthly payments based on the arrangements with the finance company. But as Derek mentioned, the cashback that you receive should offset at least 2 to 3 to 4 months of your payments. So during that time, we work with you, help you make a couple sales, and essentially you will have the ability to not have to spend anything out of pocket at all. So that's basically how that works. Hope that answers your question. Veronica, I still see that you're putting your hand up. While we're not quite sure why you're unable to speak. We've granted you the opportunity to speak, but there's something going on with the settings. So if you can, in the meantime, just go ahead and type your question in the Q&A section. Robin Jordan says, thank you, gentlemen, for a great presentation. I have to leave. There is no video or microphone, so I cannot unmute. Yeah, there's something going on there. No problem, Robin. We appreciate your time. Anna says, I understand that you help to use debt to start with the company, correct? I would like to start, but budget is tight. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. And again, we deal with many individuals who have similar situations. So what I would recommend is maybe just get in touch with the person that invited you to the call, and they'll be able to give you a few options of what you can use towards moving forward. So yeah, just get back in touch with that individual that invited you to call, and they'll walk you through your options. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Do you have any other questions? You're welcome, Anna. Who invited you, by the way, Anna?
Does anyone else have any other questions? If you have a question, go ahead and use the Q&A section. Okay, I forgot his name. Okay.
Valerie, excellent class. What can I do to receive more information or how can get training with you? Yeah. So we always suggest booking a call. And if you want to just let us know like what specifically you're looking to get, like is it more on, I guess, the product or the business or how you can do it. So if you can be specific on that, that would be great. Or if you want, you can just book a call for sure. Yeah, I do click on their name to be able to allow them to speak. But
Yeah, I'm not too sure why and what's going on. Anna says Tyler Byrne invited her. Okay, awesome. So yeah, just get back in touch with Tyler. Let him know you'd like to get started. Just want to know what your options are, and he can definitely walk you through that. Or he can at least book a call with the leader, the upline leader, and they'll be able to walk you through your options.
absolutely, go Tyler, great guy.
Awesome job. All right, we have a couple more minutes for any other questions. Does anybody else have any other questions? We got 30 plus people on here still. I'm not sure, we got a lot of people on here.
They're
So
waiting for
somebody,
you. They're waiting for you to sing. Who here in the chat wants to hear the man who trained Usher, coached him to sing? It's a bit of an inside joke, you guys. Bit of an inside joke.
Robin says, thank you, gentlemen. This has been a fantastic presentation. You're very welcome, Robin.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I guess if we have no more questions, Derek, I think we are good to go. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor to serve alongside you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the call. We appreciate you taking the time. Hope you guys really got some value from today's information. If you see an opportunity for yourself, get back in touch with the person that invited you to this call and just let them know where you stand. Let them know if you have more questions or if you just want to move forward, but you're unsure how to do so. Get back in touch with that individual. They will walk you through the options or they will book a call with their upline leader to assist in guiding you through the steps of how we can help you get started. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have a phenomenal evening. Myself, on behalf of myself and Derek and the entire Fearless family, we appreciate your time. We're excited for those of you that see the opportunity and decide to move forward. We're going to lock arms together and build something absolutely monumental over the next few months for 2024. And so with that being said, hope you guys have a blessed day. We'll see you guys all at the top because we know the bottom is way too crowded. Stay blessed.
Blessings and peace.
You guys.